Welcome to Maka's Corner. Take a seat and have a listen. Today's story is gonna be fun. Before we get started, I want to remind you to like the video, subscribe if you haven't already, and leave a comment down below. Alright, let's get started with His First Pumpkin Patch by Sir Turing. Thanks so much for inviting me out today, Sonic. I've never been to a pumpkin patch, said Silver. Sonic smiled at his companion. Of course, I'm glad you could join me. Tails and I used to do this every year, but he wanted to do it with his girlfriend this year, alone. Kinda like a date? Oh, well, I'm happy you thought me worthy of his place, Silver said. He was not fond of the fact that he was a replacement, but Sonic was a good friend and he was excited nonetheless. The two got tickets from the booth and walked inside the venue. There was so much to do, a corn maze, caramel apple making, pumpkin carving, and even a hayride through the farm to see the pumpkins growing. Silver spun around to take in the entire place, and Sonic watched him and giggled. Like what you see? He said. Oh, this is all so pretty. I'm just so in love with fall. Silver laughed and grabbed Sonic on his shoulder. I'm glad you're enjoying it. We haven't even gotten started yet, Sonic said and motioned to the cafe setup. How about we get some PSLs and then visit the maze? PSL, like pumpkin spice latte? I've heard so much advertising, but never had one. Well, they have a lot of spices, but no real pumpkin. Maybe you could consider that false advertising, Sonic chuckled. Come on, I'll buy us some. Oh, Sonic, thank you. You're so generous. Sonic walked up to the counter and ordered 2 seasonal PSLs for him and his +1. They waited nearby and took in the blended smells of espresso and crisp hay. Silver tightened up his big green scarf to stay warm as Sonic straightened out his red varsity jacket. The two shared a glance and a smile. Silver admired how athletic Sonic looked. He'd become very toned from all the running he'd done over the years. Order for Sonic, one of the baristas called out. Oh, I guess that might be ours, Sonic joked and winked at Silver. Thanks, Sonic said as he grabbed the 2 hot drinks, walking back to Silver and handing him his. Yours will taste more rich since it has 2%, Sonic said. I get non-fat, calories. Oh, you look fine. I'm sure it won't hurt you, Silver said admiringly. Thanks, Silver. You look great too. That scarf is really cute on you, Sonic replied with a warm smile. Silver felt himself blushing and smiled back. Thanks, Sonic. So off to the corn maze now? Sonic pointed to the entrance a few yards away. Absolutely, as long as you take the lead. They walked into the walls of corn and made their way to the first fork. Sonic aimed for the left and Silver followed him. A few twists and turns later, and with some dead ends, they were about halfway through the maze. Sonic looked over the Silver behind him. How's your latte? I'm really enjoying it, Silver cheered. I might order them at my usual cafe when I visit next. Glad you like it, Sonic stepped back to be by his side. We should stick close together so I don't lose you. He then wrapped one arm around Silver's back. Oh, yeah, sure, if you insist. Silver allowed himself to get closer to the blue blur, leaning into his half embrace. They trotted in the maze together, Sonic holding Silver close, sharing their heat, and they made it out at the other end of the fairground. Wow, that was a lot of fun, Silver said. Thanks for being my leading light. Anything for you, Sonic said. How about we make some caramel apples and start a jack-o'-lantern? Oh, that sounds delightful. Caramel is one of my favorite sweets. Mine too. Guess we have a lot in common. Sonic squoze Silver close and then released him, walking towards the apple booth. There were all 3 of the major apples sitting with a stick in the middle of the booth's counter. Patrons could pick up any variant and then dip it into one of the 3 flavors, chocolate, caramel, or butterscotch. Then you could choose a topping to roll your dipped apple in. For sweet lovers, they had chocolate chips and M&Ms. For those who wanted something less sugary, they had crushed nuts. Given that the minimum requirement to have an apple is to pick a variant and the dipping and topping are optional, how many different apple treat types are possible if you can only use 1 dip and 1 topping per apple treat? That will be answered, hopefully, at the end of the story. Silver opted for a Red Delicious with caramel and chocolate chips. Sonic picked a Granny Smith with caramel and nuts. They walked across the venue, pathing into the pumpkin carving area. Tables were set out with tools to carve, and pumpkins sat at the back where customers could pick any one they liked. "I'll take our apples to a table," Sonic said. "Can you go find some pumpkins for us while I get us a spot?" "Sure, Sonic." Silver dashed to the back and started gazing at the shades of orange from the farm's supply. There were many different shapes and sizes to choose from, but Silver found 2 perfect pumpkins side by side and waited for Sonic to come collect his pumpkin with him. "Wow, Silver, these are some good ones," Sonic said. "I always knew you had good taste, seeing as how you came here with me." Silver smiled at his cocky hedgehog. "Grab your pumpkin so we can start carving, silly." Sonic stepped closer and pulled Silver into a quick hug. "What was that for? Not that I'm complaining," Silver giggled. "Well, you did say to grab my pumpkin," replied Sonic with a coy smirk. Silver blushed and shook his head. "You are too much sometimes, I swear." Sonic chuckled and squatted down to reach for his pumpkin. "And you were always the perfect amount," he said, walking back toward their table. Silver groaned playfully and picked up his pumpkin and followed along. They sat their pumpkins down and got some tools handy. Sonic had already started working on sketching his design to carve. Silver decided to go for more freedom and do a typical jack-o'-lantern face. The farm already gutted the pumpkins for use, so thankfully they did not have to get their hands that messy with pumpkin guts. "Oh, your apple looks really tasty," said Sonic. "I can't eat that much sugar, I'd be up all night." Yeah, well, I'm always having a craving for sweets." "I guess you really are what you eat then." "Oh my gosh, stop!" Silver chimed. "How about you, going with a more traditional style?" "I love nuts." Sonic licked the side of his apple and took a large bite, showing off his sharp canines. The apple made a harsh crunching sound under his maw, as well as the crackling sounds from the nuts hitting his molars. Juice from the apple trickled down Sonic's chin as he chewed, later wiping it away with his jacket sleeve. "Yeah," Silver said, staring at every motion Sonic made with his mouth. "Me too." "Told you we have a lot in common," Sonic said with a smug smile. He then returned to his pumpkin and started carving his sketched-out design. Silver watched him for a moment, and then got back to working on his face. Sonic worked quickly on the carving. Silver assumed his super speed was beneficial for other activities besides running, but he did not think that pumpkin carving would be one of those. Silver had finished his eyes and mouth, and was working on cutting out a simple triangle nose. Sonic dumped out the carvings that fell out inside the pumpkin, and started dusting off the scalpings off the edges. "Okay, I'm done," Sonic said with a large, photogenic smile. He rotated his pumpkin to face Silver. "Oh, wow, Sonic! This is really good!" Silver praised Sonic's artistic talent. He had carved a werewolf silhouette that was howling in the moonlight. "Thanks. I kind of became obsessed with werewolves after that incident with Eggman. I don't do lycanthropy anymore, but my teeth changed some from when I was a werehog." Sonic opened his mouth and poked at his front row. "They're a bit, larger and sharper than what they used to be. Tails says I look more feral, but I just think it means I have a bigger smile to share with everyone." "You do have a great smile, Sonic," Silver said encouragingly. "I love seeing you grin." "Let me see your pumpkin," Sonic demanded. Well, it's not as ornate as yours, but..." Silver turned the pumpkin around to show it to Sonic. "Oh, it is nice. Very classic." Sonic praised Silver. "Let's go put them with the other carved ones so they can be displayed after dark." They rested their carved pumpkins up on haystacks for display. They stepped backward to look at all of the other creations that the fellow patchgoers had made. It was a marvel to see so many independent works all together to make one big display. Silver had glassy eyes from the awe factor of it all. "We should get to the hayride before it closes for the day," Sonic said. "Oh yes! I'm so excited to see all the pumpkins growing on the farmland," Silver cheered. The pair walked to the edge of the venue and saw riders exiting through the gate. Silver and Sonic waited at the entrance patiently. After all of the riders were off, the tractor with the trailer pulled ahead and the driver motioned for Silver and Sonic to get on the back. Sonic opened the gate and got onto the back of the ride, putting his hand out to help Silver up. He thanked Sonic and they took a seat together in the middle of the ride on a comfy haystack. A minute or two had passed and the driver saw no one else in line, so he honked and started up the tractor. "Oh wow, a private hayride? "This is kind of special," Silver said excitedly. "I guess we came at just the perfect time," Sonic replied. He scooted closer to Silver and rested his arm around his backside. Silver leaned into Sonic's shoulder and could feel him breathing as they sat on the bumpy hayride. The sun was starting to set and gave the sky a gorgeous golden tone. The hedgehogs looked at the sky and at the clouds while enjoying the slow-paced drive around the farm. Sonic nudged Silver and pointed to the pumpkin fields up ahead. The tractor slowed when it got to the pumpkin patches so they could watch closely. "There were so many, I could not even imagine what I would do with them all," Silver said in amazement. "They really grow so many here. It must be the biggest pumpkin farm in town," Sonic theorized. "Thank you, Sonic," Silver said. "I've had such a great time being with you today." "I have too," said Sonic. He looked away for a moment and then turned back to Silver. "Can I tell you something?" Silver was a bit surprised. "Of course, Sonic, you can tell me anything." Sonic thought for a moment before speaking. "When Tails told me he was going to go to the pumpkin patch with his girlfriend as a date, it made me think that maybe I should make it a date too, with someone I like a lot." Silver blushed. Are you saying that this is a date with you?" Sonic said bluntly. "And now, with the sun setting and thinking about how much fun we had today, all I can think about is kissing you here." You want to kiss me?" "Yeah," Sonic said back. "Can I kiss you, Silver?" "Oh, Sonic," Silver sighed. "I was hoping you would ask me that all day." Silver wrapped his arms around Sonic's shoulder and placed his mouth onto Sonic's. They shared a long, loving embrace during the autumn sunset as they shared their first kiss with one another. Silver could not wait for the rest of fall with his blue blur, and he knew Sonic could not either. Thanks for listening. Hope you guys have a good one. Bye-bye.